Before I met Atomy, I was working 2 jobs as the standard, and there wasn't a job that I haven't tried. I am a single mother with a 13-year-old son who had to do everything I could, from selling insurance to selling cosmetics, to make money. I worked hard for 10 years, determined to raise my child well. But despite working tirelessly, not only was I unable to save any money, I couldn't even afford to take any nutritional supplements. One day, through an introduction from my friend who did Atomy business, I ended up visiting the center. The first thing I heard then was, "Your face is prettier than your friend, but your skin is a mess." It was then that my dull, rough skin with blemishes around my mouth caught my eyes.
Before I met Atomy, I had been working hard, running a medical equipment business for 23 years. But my business went bankrupt overnight due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The employees' salaries began to go unpaid, and even the rent was overdue, prompting a notice from the building owner to vacate the premises. I tried all possible means and methods to find a solution, but I couldn't solve them. I felt a huge sense of guilt when I had to let go of all my long-term employees. I couldn't bear to see their backs as they left, so I went into a storage room and cried my heart out.
I am a visually impaired new sales master, Yi-Sir Choi. Before joining the Atomy business, I put in a lot of effort to find employment. However, as you know, it is not easy to even find part-time jobs these days. So it was not easy for me as a visually impaired person to have an opportunity for an interview.
Looking back, my life has had a lot of twists and turns. At a young age, I lost my mother, and I always spent my childhood feeling timid and introverted. I dreamed of a life-changing opportunity in society. I went bankrupt in an instant due to Korea's economic crisis. At that time, network marketing, which I had never experienced, came to me like a ray of light. I was confident. Because it was a business that didn't require a high capital and was based solely on networking, I did my best with hopeful determination, dreaming of a day when I could make a successful comeback. Once again, though, success was not on my side. After that, I failed 3 more times in a row, and my life became a mess. I experienced frequent power and gas outages, and one day, I even went to a meeting with my phone disconnected. One time, my car ran out of gas and I had to pull over in a tunnel, which almost caused a major accident. I didn't even aspire to be super rich, but life just didn't seem to go my way.
Due to an accidental explosion, my home, which had been my safe haven for the past 30 years, was completely destroyed. My husband was hospitalized in the ICU because he suffered more than 30% of severe burns all over his body. After regaining consciousness, I realized there was nothing left amidst the raging flames. It felt like the past 30 years of living in this house had burned down all at once. I thought, how could such a thing happen to me? Seeing the house turn to ash, I couldn't sleep because I had lost my will to live any further. My body and mind were exhausted. I suffered from shingles for a month and then underwent another month of psychiatric treatment. Each day was really painful and hopeless.
I studied abroad in Australia for 11 years. So I had a rather clear goal of going to graduate school in interpretation and translation upon my return to Korea.
The journey to get to this point was not an easy one, because as soon as I started the business, COVID-19 took over our daily lives. It was frustrating because I had no consumer base and no one was willing to attend a meeting. Thanks to my sponsors who were always there to encourage me and generously share their business know-hows, I was able to make it to this point. The biggest reason I couldn't give up and sink into despair while blaming the situation was because I had a son who was already grown up, both physically and mentally. I couldn't just sit back when I had a son who always told me he loved me and would be by my side. After 2 years of working like crazy with Atomy business in the morning, a clothing store in the afternoon, and a bar at night, something happened that I could only dream of. I was accepted into Atomy's musician. I had the opportunity to realize my dream of becoming a singer that I had always written down as a life scenario had finally come true. which I had failed to achieve in my younger years.
Last July, I declared my will to challenge for the Sales Master promotion to my beloved and respected Diamond Master. Dreams come true as you speak it. Words are seeds. Despite having doubts about my ability when I declared the challenge, I miraculously succeeded. I was really happy.
However, Atomy was different. Thanks to Atomy, which opened up equal opportunities for everyone to work anytime and anywhere, I got the opportunity to work for the first time in my life. The obstacles that felt like a huge barrier to employment were not much of a problem within Atomy.
At the end of last year, I met Atomy for the first time. The solid financial structure, the chairman's business mindset, and the absolute quality and absolute price strategy were impressive. Most of all, seeing the vision that Atomy is rewriting the network marketing history made me feel like real success was finally within reach. So I personally looked into Atomy and started my business. Shouldn't I show myself succeeding confidently as a husband and father, at least once before I die? Fall down 4 times, stand up 5. Atomy was the last one. After putting my all into it, I ended up here today. Today's promotion speech would become an unforgettable page in my life as someone who had always experienced only failures.
To my husband and I, who struggled with unemployment and endured several months with no income, it was truly a ray of light. That's not all. My sponsors took care of us as if we were their own children. They took a long trip and provided us with not only emotional support, but also practical items such as towels and frying pans. I realized the meaning of positive influence that the chairman spoke about. I was able to get out of despair because of these people. It was an opportunity for me to rediscover Atomy, which I had only experienced as a consumer until now. I felt a strong desire to become successful and follow the footsteps of these kind-hearted individuals. There is something my daughter often says to me these days. Mom, you've changed so much lately. That's right, I have changed a lot. After the fire accident, I was paralyzed by trauma. But once I started working at Atomy, I woke up early in the morning, dressed up, and got busy. Most importantly, I had more laughter and positive thoughts. What would I be like now if I hadn't met Atomy?
How many people have confidence and trust in the company they work for? Some of my friends who finished their studies abroad earn a lot of money but are not happy. I have seen many cases where people have conflicts between the directions the company pursues and their own visions. But what about Atomy's success? They pursue a balanced life, sincerely wishing for the success of their partners and living a life of contribution to society and their surroundings. I realized that successful individuals at Atomy truly earn valuable money. It fit perfectly with the direction I wanted to live my life.
Atomy gave me the opportunity to challenge myself with a new position and allowed me to pursue my dreams. When I vividly dreamed as the chairman suggested, it really came true. I will vividly envision a year filled with only happiness. Within Atomy. I love Atomy so much for giving me hope when I had none.
Today, I would like to make another declaration. I will challenge myself to become promoted to Diamond Master within the first half of 2022. And I want to realize the dream that I have held dear in my heart until now. In the next 4 years, in October 2025, when I turn 70, I will build a beautiful nursing home in a clean and serene place.
The only place where a person with disabilities like myself can work freely and happily without discrimination is at Atomy. Don't you think I made a good choice choosing Atomy? I want to be a reliable support for my sponsors, just as they have been for me. Lastly, I want to thank myself for all the hard work I've done. I consider happiness to be the most important value in my life. I will become someone who shares happy energy with many people, starting with myself from now on. Thank you.
If I had to pick the best thing I've ever done, first would be meeting God. Second, meeting my wife, who has believed in me and supported me even in difficult circumstances. Lastly, meeting Atomy, which has become my last hope. I am happy that with the power of the products and the establishment of true consumer relationships, I can dream of working hard and achieving success for the next 20 to 30 years. My goal for the latter half of this year is to achieve the rank of Diamond Master and return to this stage as a truly successful individual. I love you, thank you, and fighting!
Even though I finally achieved the first rank at Atomy today, my mind is busy. If I want to be a light for someone else, like the sponsors who helped me, I don't have time to waste. I will grow by strongly promoting the positive influences and effectiveness of the products that Atomy has shown me. Please watch my growth and development in the future after starting my second life with Atomy.
Now I know for sure. As Atomy is continuously growing infinitely, I too will grow with Atomy and gradually achieve my dreams in this rapidly changing world. Now I want to be a tool for other people's success and a good leader who exerts positive influence, just as Atomy has done for me. I want to be a leader who is not just flashy on the outside, but who is filled with value on the inside. I am still young, so there are many other means of success besides Atomy. But successful people find a way, while those who fail find excuses. You must find a way, amidst countless reasons and excuses why you do not need Atomy. You can definitely find it. People would ask me, why Atomy? I would ask them, why not Atomy? I will do my best together with my sponsors.